Hello everyone. I'm dead tired, so let's just get into this. What terms were the most important concept this week's lessons? I would have to say the most important concepts would have to be vulnerability and Lima slash LEMC, however you say that. Lima just seems easier to say. But vulnerability, from what I understood of the articles, were the people and people, demographics, and geographic locations that were most vulnerable to a type of a disaster. The type of disasters that seem the impact of disasters greatly affected those communities that are within areas that you know a disaster will occur, such as floodplains. Why we build houses on floodplains, only architects and greedy people will know. But it was identified in one of the articles some communities in Texas, Mississippi, and a few other states, and in the video it pointed out the countries that were in danger of monsoon season and all the hurricanes and such. Those locations, due to where they are more likely to receive natural disasters. Though there are communities that receive disasters, those disasters are not natural. Those are man-made disasters. Those communities are different. They have a trigger, whether it's negligence for preventing the disaster, and so on. I'm getting distracted. So vulnerability was one of the main focuses, discussing what people such as women, those who are physically unable to leave their homes, the elderly, the sick, those are the people that are the poor, those are the people that are heavily affected by natural disasters. Now, the damage caused by a natural disaster and being poor are different, because there are people who are poor. That's a fact of life, unfortunately. And you have to be able to draw the line between what is because they're poor and what is because the disaster has occurred and they were unable to prepare. The other focus, the other focus besides vulnerability, I would have to say, would be LEMA, the local emergency management agencies, and the local emergency management committees. LEMA was the local police officers, medical staff, public works, security, media. Those are the people that are able to get the word out, and they are the ones that help the community through a disaster, whether it be declaring the disaster over the radio, helping people become aware of it, helping people during the disasters evacuate, helping people return or receive medical attention when a disaster has occurred. They're the lacking the word, but they're the groups that are able to go in and help when a disaster strikes, before and after, as during as well. The emergency committees, the local ones, they are the actual people. They're the citizens. They're the ones that get the training and learn what to do. They're the ones that know, this is what I gotta learn, or this is what I gotta do to help prepare my home, or this is what I gotta do to help so-and-so down the street prepare their home. and because of that, they're able to respond and help each other. So if there's an elderly person that's unable to help, they are able to. What else was I going to talk about? I talked about vulnerability, I talked about the demographics, I talked about Lima and LEC. I guess those were the main two focuses, so I'm going to move on to the next question. What is my muddiest point? There were a few things that I was uncertain on. At first reading through some of the articles, I didn't realize that LEMA and LEMC were different. I just thought there was a name change. I also find it muddy how they're able to draw the line between what is a disaster-related problem and what is just poverty, because they're so closely and they look so similar. Because if someone has a leaky roof, it can either be because a storm literally ripped the roof off and caused a giant hole, or it could be they are just unable to afford to get it repaired. How are you able to draw the line? I wasn't sure how that was clear. I wasn't sure how some of these demographics were designed, like how they determined the vulnerability. I understood those with disables, those that are elderly, those that are sickly, those in certain locations, housing-wise, would be the most vulnerable. That made sense. But how did they pick out some of the other groups? Like, one of the articles, I don't remember which one, was talking about gender, and that slightly confused me. I understood why they were bringing gender into it, but at the same time, I thought that the demographics that covered the elderly, the sickly, the poor, those who could not afford or were unable to or had other priorities were the demographics. Yeah. I also had a hard time. There is information available everywhere. Everywhere. There's always someone talking about something. There's always a way to get information. In fact, on my phone, just a few minutes ago, I found out that there was a car accident, and my friends were immediately spreading the word that, hey, there was this accident. Are you guys okay? And it just blew up. Like, I feel like everyone knows about it by now. If you don't know about it, then I'm sorry. There was an accident, apparently. I don't know the results, because it only happened an hour ago. Someone just saw an ambulance leading. But communication happens so fast, and we have such technology that lets it happen. While these poorer communities, though they are unable to have maybe cell phones and other such, there should be a way for them to talk to each other. In the video, it said that they just installed these sirens and stuff in those communities to give them warnings. Why weren't those already there? They knew what type of community it was. They knew, not the type of community, they knew where they were located. That they were in an area where storms hit often. This is not a new thing. It's been going on for generations. How have those systems not been put up? That makes no sense. Why are they unable to help these people? I'm ranting. I'm at almost 10 minutes. My in-person question would be, if you were one of those people that were part of the committees and had to go in, check on people, help them prepare for the storms that were occurring during hurricane season, such as the people in the videos, and you knew that there was nothing you can do because either the resources were very thin due to the multiple locations, or that you just could not help them yourself, how would you be able to walk away from those people? Could you walk away from those people? I personally don't know if I could. Just seeing someone knowing that they could be badly hurt from a storm or something, I would literally want to drag them to wherever is safe. But can you?